Hey everyone, thanks for joining our live. So we
Hey,
have a couple of people here. We have Toy the BCBA, we have Denny, and we have Miss Jackie, who's also an author. So I'm just gonna give it a couple more minutes so that everyone can join and give them time, to join the live.
hey girls, how was your day, girls?
Very
Had a very
busy
long
sixth grade.
day.
I understand.
I'm actually getting ready because tomorrow I'll be heading to New York to prepare for the New York mixer. So super
And where are you?
excited for
You
that.
have lots of fun.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Will this be your first time in New York or you've been
It
before?
won't be my first time in New York, but it'll be my first event that I'm helping host with the
Oh, that's
ABT.
so fun.
It is. Are you nervous or you're ready?
I am very nervous, but excited. I like stepping out of my comfort zone.
I'm trying to challenge myself to step out of my comfort zone. Because normally, like the old me, I would not be on this platform at all. I'd be so afraid to speak up.
I completely
Yeah, I feel like
understand.
this is a first experience for me. Also, trying to be like, even on my personal page, you guys, I do not go live at all. So it's
Right.
definitely a new experience.
Yes. Like even before we started, like, I started to feel a little nervous, but we're
Uh,
going to get through it.
It's okay. Make it feel like a FaceTime call, okay?
There you go.
yeah, I'm like, oh, my nerves, but it got better. It's gonna be, it'll be fine.
Where do
Okay,
you
so
guys live? Where does everybody live?
Savannah,
I'm in
Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
You're only
Okay.
4 hours away from me.
And I'm in Brunswick, so we're down the street.
Oh.
Okay.
And I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, so
Oh, it's okay. You're a flight away. We can still come and see you
I'll be
too.
there,
It's true.
so that's all that matters.
Have you been there all your life or you just like
Mm,
started living there?
I've been here my whole life.
Do you like it or
I mean, I do. I have been thinking of, branching out to other things, but in due time, we'll see how it works out.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, it's
I
okay. You
feel the
gotta
same
be where your
about
feet are
Savannah.
sometimes, so it's okay.
I feel the
Mm,
same about Savannah. But everybody who moves from Savannah, they end up moving to Atlanta.
yeah, I can
No,
see.
no.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So if you're ready to get started, it's 7:10. I feel like maybe, some people have joined. And we can start with, myself, I'm Janelle Armstrong. I'm also an RBT, and I also have my master's in education in ABA. My journey has been a little wonky. I've always wanted to be a BCBA, but I haven't always had the opportunities to get the supervision hours to become one. So I found my footing in being an RBT, which also led me into my other role as an FA state coach, where I'm a Pilates and tone and yoga coach. Where I'm learning and training to be, the best that I can be in that realm. But as you know, the science of ABA can be applied everywhere. Um, so I'm applying that right now in other fields. And I'm also just branching off and, as you guys said, stepping out of your comfort zone to do other things, talk to each other, network, find other people who are like me. Because I know there's a lot of people who are, graduate level RBTs who don't want to be BCBAs and are enjoying being RBTs. So, yeah, we're going to start with Miss Jackie. If you could just tell me who you are and what's your role in ABA right now.
So my name is Jacqueline Williams. Most people call me Jackie for short. I've been in the field of ABA for over 10 years. I first got started when I was a pre-K teacher and I had over 5 students in my class that had autism. And y'all, at this time, I had no type of certification, but what I did have was a dedication. So I would stay up to 1 in the morning, research, trying to figure out how to make my class more inclusive. And from there, I got into this field and I never looked back. I once wanted to be a BCBA, but not anymore. So I'm in school to become a developmental pediatrician so that I could do the diagnosis. And I'm a
Okay.
big nerd, so I love research.
That's awesome. And what about you, Miss Toy, the BCBA?
So first off, I like to say, Jackie, I love that no certification, but the dedication. I like that you need
It's
to
true.
quote it, girl, okay? Quote it. I'm Toy. I got in the field in 2008. I was going to school to be a nurse. Crazy me, could care less about being a nurse. And into a recruiter that worked with special school district in St. Louis. And after like a year back and forth, I finally got in, and I've been here ever since. Like I worked in schools, I worked in home, I worked in clinics, and I'm currently working in ISL. And I'm working with like adults and teaching them like adaptive living skills and replacement behaviors. I'm also the voice and face behind the BWIBAAD podcast.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
there's plenty more to come, but we'll talk about that at another time when I'm ready to announce all my excitement.
Awesome. I love, first of all, it's just between you two. I love the diversity of the field already. I mean, and I love how you said, Jackie, you don't want to be a BCBA anymore, but you're, developing other skills and you're trying to be a pediatrician so you can find your way and still applying that science. So
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
Okay. What about you, ma'am?
All right. Well, my name is Denny Duran, and I'm also RBT. And I've recently graduated with my master's in applied behavior analysis. And I've been in the field for a little over 4 years, mainly working with children anywhere from the age of 2 to about, honestly, 21. So I currently work in a group home. That is definitely different. It is my first experience in a group home. So kind of gotten a good bit of all the aspects of the field as far as like the different challenges and like trauma-based ABA. So that's been very, very interesting. And I have officially been approved actually to sit for my exam. So I should be testing soon.
Congratulations in advance, because I know you're going to pass.
We love
Thank
that.
you. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to growing into my role as a BCBA.
Hey, Leslie.
Glad to be with you guys today.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, I don't know if I should. I mean, do you want to take over or do you want me to continue asking my questions? Do you feel better?
I am feeling much better, but you can go on and continue questions. You're
Okay.
welcome to do that.
Well, could you introduce yourself, Leslie? Who are you and what's your role in ABA?
Yeah, my name's Leslie Ann. I'm a board certified assistant behavior analyst. I also work in special education area previously, and I'm also a integration specialist. So I specialize in integrating music with neurodivergent children. And I help behavior science help children with disabilities, communication, self-expression, and confidence. And I like to say work intersection of melody and motivation. So I'm really excited to be here. And I guess I'll get into it. I know you were asking some questions, introduce myself, and I don't want to get too ahead since I came late.
You're okay. You're okay. We literally just got started and you joined in right on time. So thank you for introducing yourself. We're actually going on next to talking about the Black Women in Behavior Analysis 3K, as well as the conference coming up in February. So Jackie, what excites you most about the BWI 3K and the conference coming up? And what do you think, like, why are these initiatives so important to you?
So what excites me the most is, first and foremost, y'all, I don't care what certification or what credential I have, I'm always a student in the room. So on the top of that list, I'm just looking forward to learning from every person in that room and seeing what I can take and apply to my career and make it better. As far as this 3K stride, I'm looking forward to just educating more parents, more people about our science, and breaking multiple myths that we have in this field. And the unique perspective you wanted to know about?
Just about the conference and the Black Women in Behavior Analysis 3K. Like, why do you think they're so important, for people to know about and to join?
So it's important because, first of all, we do need more representation. Of course, I'm all for diversity, but we do need more of us. We also need, again, to break different myths that are set forth about our science. And when it comes to the conference, I'm just looking forward to, again, being a student in the room and pushing beyond my comfort zone where I'm, just more laid back. I'm more quiet. I'm not willing to speak up about anything. The more voices we have, the more impact we have.
Okay, awesome. So you're really looking to learn a lot more.
Yes,
that's sweet.
Always a student. Always a student.
Awesome. Okay, what about you, Toy?
Okay, so for me, when I think about the 3K, so for me and my family, let's go back like generationally, the women in my family don't last long. So when I think about the 3K, it's important as a reminder to choose yourself, choose health, and to always, keep yourself active. So that's why when I think about that, especially people in your same field, people who are experiencing the same challenges as you, and we're about to get out here and move. So that alone is important to me. And as for the BWIBAAD conference, it's giving FUBU, for us, by us.
Yes.
Learn and, experience greatness that shares the same culture, same experiences as you. And there's no code switching. We just are us. We can be unapologetically us. That was the theme last year. And that's like, it's going to always be the thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the thing. It's always going to be the thing. So for me, that's always important.
Yes, love that. And Danny?
So what excites me the most about these initiatives is the sense of community and for sure that empowerment that these events bring. So I actually attended the Black Women in Behavior Analysis conference last year, and honestly, I left feeling so inspired, seeing so many women of color come together, not to compete, but to uplift each other and support one another. So it really reminded me of the power of connection and like that representation within our field. Now, as far as the 3K, I'm really excited. The fact that it promotes community and wellness as well, just to spread awareness about what autism means. I feel like even now you would think that so many people know of what autism is, but they don't. And just the science behind behavior and to support individuals with disability.
Lovely. Yes, I also agree. And before I let you go, Leslie, I just want to say that people don't understand how much the behavior field and wellness and community intersect. And I think also in wellness, we don't realize how easy it is for us to say, oh, I don't feel like going to walk. I don't feel like going to work out. But how easy it could be to turn around and say, well, first, let me go work out and then maybe I'll go get my cookie. I think it's very rewarding to know that they really do intersect. And what about you, Leslie? Are you excited about these initiatives?
I'm really excited. Absolutely. When you talked about the 3K and the outdoors, that's one of the things I think about with the children that I work with, getting them outside in nature. We don't really, especially nowadays, know the importance of being able to walk and be out in nature. And there's just even so much science behind what that is. But aside from that, I got really excited about the nature and walk 3K part. But with the BWIBAAD conference, this would be my first conference. So I'm very excited about it. I'm excited to be part of the initiative to create a space where Black women can be seen, heard, celebrated, not just for our credentials, but like our creativity, our heart, what we bring to the field. And it's about like passing that legacy, like even being passionate about finding mentees or those who are going towards their BCBA or BCABA, or even going beyond if they decide to go a different ABA field. Lastly, I think it's really exciting to teach others about ABA. I think someone else said you'd be really surprised if people don't know what ABA is. And having like us as women of color who are like doing our thing, like working hard, being strong clinicians, to be able to show our wellness and teach others about what ABA is. I think that's really what it's all about.
Absolutely. I agree as well. This will be my first time doing this conference as well. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm inspired to be a part of something like that. And I'm also excited to meet others that look like me in this field. And real quick, shout out to FS8. They're actually going to be the sponsor for the Black Women in Behavior Analysis 3K. That's my other job that I work for. And that's where I'm an FS8 coach at. So my two loves are kind of intersecting with each other. So yeah, I'm so excited to hear about that. And I think that you guys talking about how these initiatives make you excited could make other people excited as well. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next thing, which is your inspiration and impact. So I want you guys to share a moment in your career or the ABA community that inspired you. Jackie?
So first, when I was a pre-K teacher, my very first student I had, he was from India. He did not know any English. He was nonverbal. He needed help with toilet training and all of the things. And when everyone else counted him out, I took time and I was dedicated to this, and I was teaching him how to talk. At the time, did not know there was a field for this, but I was so dedicated to it. And he started talking. He started using the restroom by himself, and he started feeding himself. And y'all, I don't want to get emotional on camera, but that's one of my most favorite memories, and I still keep in contact with his mom till this day. And that was over 7 years ago.
Wow, that is really sweet. And I feel like those are the moments that, makes us stick with ABA, even though it can get hard sometimes. And it's really rewarding to see, that you're helping someone develop themselves and that potential. That's awesome. What about you, Toy?
Okay. There's so many, but one, when I looked at the question, initially stood out. And it was actually, I was working at a clinic, and one of the RBTs I was coming to actually observe, she thought I was her relief for a break. And I have I have to explain to her, like, no, I'm the BCBA, and she's been calling me Big Dog ever since. So moment, but yeah, she was calling me Big Dog ever since, and she was saying that she's like, I've never in all these years met a Black BCBA.
Wow.
And like, wow. And so now it's like, I want to let everybody know that my people, the sky's the limit. Do you know how many Black RBTs there are? Like, yeah, and to know, I get it ever since her, I get it all the time. I didn't know there were Black BCBAs, and then here I am. So that's like super motivating and inspiring to me. Yeah.
So you want to continue going like, hey, we here, we exist.
Because I'm everywhere I've been, oh, look, it's a DSP. Oh, look, here's the RBT. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Actually, you have to walk around like, actually, I'm the big dog.
And really not, but but still, it's just funny because it's the reactions that they give, like, oh, because they're not used to seeing that. That's all.
Exactly. Okay, Danny.
I would say one of my most inspiring moments as an RBT so far was early on whenever I started working for a clinic in Savannah, actually. And I had a young Mexican client, and his mom's biggest concern was that she couldn't really communicate with her son because of that language barrier. So she would speak to him primarily in Spanish, but he would respond in English, which left her feeling frustrated and disconnected. So coming from a Dominican household myself, like I really understood how meaningful it was to communicate in our native language. That it's not just about words, but it's about like connection and culture. And I was actually the translator during the parent training. So I was able to translate for the family and voice the mom's concern to the BCBA. And I decided to suggest to the BCBA that since my first language was Spanish, if I could run my half of the session, since he was there all day, strictly in Spanish, and then his RBT would continue his English sessions in the afternoon. And the supervisor loved the idea, and honestly, we put it into action. I did have to do a lot of research because even coming from a Spanish background, our cultures are so different from the words that they use. So I had to do a lot of my own research and truly to teach him stuff that truly reflected his own culture. And it was honestly such a beautiful learning experience. Like, not only did he start communicating more with his mom, but he also learned so much. I also learned so much about cultural diversity, like within our shared language. And that just reminded me why I love this field, because I feel like ABA isn't just about behavior change. It's about, understanding people and their backgrounds and the meaningful connections that help us all thrive.
Definitely. And sometimes, I mean, the clients teach you more than you're teaching them and their families. Like you said,
Exactly.
like you have to learn about an entirely different culture, and both of you guys are Hispanic, but Mexicans and Dominicans can be very different, even the foods that they eat. So that's lovely that you took it as a learning experience. And I'm sure the mom learned a lot as well from you. So that's so sweet. Leslie, did you want to share anything about a moment in your career?
Yeah, as you guys were talking, it made me think about the cultural impact. I had a client family who was Haitian, and I'm second generation Jamaican. So the mom spun out working with another client, and when she found out my heritage, she said she was feeling not very comfortable with other like other cultural who don't understand the cultural background providing services. And I explained to her, that there's a lot of cultural competency out there, there's a lot of training, but I'd be happy to support your child. And just feeling like she could trust me with her child, really made me feel like, wow, there's that really missing piece of behavioral analysis that we take for granted. That seeing someone like you, or seeing a child look up to you, knowing that you have that look like you them too, was very eye-opening for me. And just the connection that we were able to make about even the way that children are disciplined, or even the way, and being able to have discussions with the father about, here's how positive reinforcement works on the Cooper book, but here how it may be able to be applied realistically in your home. Like, let's find that middle ground. Let's find what's culturally competent, but also within the science. So that was a really important learning experience for me, and impactful experience.
Definitely. I feel like in everybody's stories, it's more so representation matters. And we had that light bulb go off. Like, we're here for a reason, and this matters for sure. I do want to ask, Leslie, you're the first BCABA that I've met, and I've always seen it. What is that like in, being in between BCBA and RBT?
There are some days where I love it. I get to do the direct. I know there's some BCBAs who still do direct, but I get to kind of be that in between. And then there are other days where I'm planning to, starting in January, go for my BCBA, where that autonomy, because when you're a BCABA, it's nice to be learning under and being mentored by multiple BCBAs, but eventually as a Black woman and a woman who wants to create a space for herself, like my eventual goal, I think a lot of us, is to like have something for ourselves and to be able to be autonomous in our own right. So it's like a nuance, but I also, on the flip side, because I always see the positives of things, I also love the fact that I get a chance to not just be thrown in from being an RBT to a BCBA. I get to like have that, like, working on behavioral plans, doing the parent training, doing the data analysis, like all of the things that BCBAs can do. And like I have that, so it kind of give me a bit of a step up of when I go down that other path. And it might be easier for me to gain that. I hope that clears it up. It's a good question because people do ask that.
No, it clears it up for sure. I mean, it sounds like you're kind of in that level in between of being a BCBA, but you can't do everything a BCBA does, which at the same time, I feel like that's a little bit unfortunate, because you're right. I feel like in everyone's role, we should have that, that independency in each role to succeed that way. But I think maybe a little bit of the board and a lot of other things make it to where we can't do that. And some jobs aren't as important as others. Although RBTs are the ones on the front line sometimes, I think we can get a little lost in the sauce, and we're not as important, as everyone else. And we want to do the parent trainings and we want to help out with that, but we can't, So that's very important to say. And that's awesome too.
Yeah. It's important, guys. Like, there's no one without the other. So we can't do our jobs without RBTs. The RBTs can't do their jobs without us. And Leslie, like she said, she's in a great position to where she can do both. So with her being that BCABA, she can literally do both. Like, when I worked in the clinic, I did have to work direct. There were times that were short staffed, I worked direct. But like now that I'm working like in home, like ISLs and independent supported living, there's no really direct. I mean, of course I work with the consumers, but not like the RBTs will. So with Leslie, where she is, she really has the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So, all of us, yes, it's all important. We're all needed equally, I promise.
Yeah,
I agree.
Always do your research too about like what states you decide to get your BCABA. If anyone's looking to go down that path, because some states have limited funding sources, so they can only it will do if it's states. But from my unknown, for Virginia and in Florida have a more variety of BCABAs able to like bill. So to do your research, and I think it's a great avenue. I know some people who want to be a BCAA and want to kind of stay in that role and enjoy it. I enjoy it, but I'm always like looking for what the next thing I want to do.
Exactly. I wish, and I feel like I was that one person that I want to stay in RBT, but I wish that it could support my lifestyle as well. Like I wish it could support my lifestyle, because unfortunately the pay does not. Like, I want to continue this as a career, but that BCBA role and salary is what will support my life as, you know, a 26-year-old. Unfortunately, RBTs can't do that. And I wish that we could, because I feel like it's very important. The role is. But yeah, it just does not support the livelihood that we want to live, and the nails and the hair and the everything else, you know.
For us, but you have options. In 2025, there's plenty of options. We'll talk about that another time.
I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear it.
Yes. I'll be sure to talk to you after we do this, okay?
Me
I'm
too.
all for growth, and I don't care. Like, you don't have to be a BCBA to grow. You can do a lot of things with what you have. So yes, talk to me. Promise.
And that's what I and other people need to hear. You know, like, it seems like it's just this direct. You start off as an RBT, maybe go to BCAPA or BCBA. If you don't want to do any of that, there's no place for an ABA. That's what it seems like, you know.
Need RBTs. Like, your job is super important. We need that, and it's okay to be that. And with that, like what you're doing right now, this is literally a side hustle. Like, there's so many other things that in the year that we are in, 2025, there's literally anything that you could do. You could literally be doing podcasting. You could be writing books. You could be, you know what I mean? So there's so many. I took a class, 6-7 streams of income from one position.
Wow.
So don't think that this is it. You could literally, if you're happy as an RBT, be a happy RBT, and then talk to me. I promise.
Okay, I will do that, big dog. Thank you. Okay, guys, so we're moving on next to your unique perspectives that you bring to this field. Jackie, what unique perspective do you bring? And what's one key takeaway for the audience?
So my perspective, or at least I would say my perspective, is more so of my heart posture that I have going into this field. And my whole thing has always been take away all the money. Yes, of course, you want to make a living, but take away all the money. Would I still do this? Absolutely, because it's bigger than me. Is nothing that I find more enjoying than watching them just transform and do things that most people count them out and never thought they would be able to do. But I would say my perspective is just, it's all based on empathy.
Yep.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a big part of it too. So a good perspective to have. And if you don't, you are not going to survive in it for the money.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, Toy, what unique perspective do you bring?
It goes right back off, piggybacking off Jackie. It's empathy. Like, my unique perspective is that we're all people with feelings, and I use that when I work with either consumers, RBTs, parents. The key takeaway is to put yourself in the other person's shoes and be what you want, what you would want and need if you were in that position.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've so many times I'm just like, even if I'm sitting in a home or a clinic or the daycare, it doesn't matter where I am, in the community, in the grocery store with a family. I'm like, if this was me, you know, you don't want the stares and the whatever else. You want the connection, the empathy, the it's okay. And you most importantly want that love. Like, I want you to treat that child like it's your own, you know. So that's sweet. Okay, Denny, what unique perspective do you bring?
I feel like I bring a perspective shaped by, I feel like, both my clinical experience and my cultural background. I feel like as a Dominican RBT who has worked with children from diverse communities, I've seen how language and cultural difference can impact families' experiences with ABA. I've adopted interventions, you know, to with clients in native languages and cultural norms, and just helping families connect with their children in meaningful ways. And I hope to bring this lens of inclusion, like advocacy and community-focused practice to the conversation. Now, as far as takeaway, I just hope that the audience leaves with that ABA is the most effective when it's inclusive, culturally responsive, and grounded in real relationships.
Yes, breaking barriers.
Intervention in data.
Yes, exactly. And that's all they make it seem about, because it's science. It's not about the graphs. It's not about how long this might take, how quick this might be done. Breaking barriers. I love that.
Yes.
Leslie, what unique perspective do you have?
I come from a variety of different backgrounds, from education to special education to being a music teacher, and a classically trained violinist. So there's all these backgrounds, like people. I like the fact that those in ABA, specifically myself, come from different backgrounds and can like infuse those backgrounds into what they do now. And you see it with different clinicians, like whether they had an background in speech and language therapy, OT, So what I bring to the table is like infusing art and science. And even though art is like so different because it's creativity and science, different parts of the brain, bringing a lens of like representation of creativity in running your programs, creativity and how you set up your lessons, how you set up the structure of your direct sessions, creativity and how you present your parent training. Um, I'm also can bring in the hope and love that I have for inclusion, which goes back to the cultural competency piece. So my key takeaway is innovation and ABA doesn't mean doing something new. It sometimes means like seeing people differently and expanding our view a little bit further.
Okay. It seems like your creativity is what sets you apart. We actually have an audience member that wants to hear a little bit more about how you integrate that science and that art together into one. Maybe talk about more how your music therapy, how that side of you, it shows inside of the direct sessions, or however you feel you want to play that.
Oh, sure. So even recently, working with a child with specifically child with an AAC device or non-vocal children, there's been a lot of research showing that they higher reinforcement or increase the rate of responding to manding using music than using just typical SE. So when I'm sitting down with them and let's say I like to bring it back to like the assessment, the peak assessment as something where a client has to do between same and different. So he's got like an apple or let's say a dog and a cat. Are they the same or are they different? And she didn't really understand what same and different was. And so I sort of came up with a song. And as we know, joint attention is an area of children with autism have difficulty with. They're kind of looking around or not like really focusing. And when I started to sing and I was like, same and different, same and different, same, 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 different, different, different. And she like her eyes like peeked up and and I did that for like 3 trials, like kind of probing. And then I was like, which one's same and different? And she goes, same. So just seeing how, even including that music piece, I mean, music, it can be creativity with movement. That small example that is like very much research based and peer reviewed that I mean, you see Miss Rachel do it, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, even though we're still in the field of science of ABA, there's some integration with speech and language therapy innovations and peer-reviewed strategies that we can include within within our sessions, as long as we're keeping it within the science, and then justify it with, I'm increasing the reinforcement rate of responding for this client by including singing, and then generalizing it to, okay, eventually she can sing it, but now she has to be able to say it in different environments. So that's sort of like a little snippet of what I do.
That's sweet. And the initial introduction into these things, these objects that you said, like same and different. I've also experienced that just in a regular session, and we're just like, my kid probably doesn't know the animals on a farm until I say, Old MacDonald had a farm, and then she's listing every single animal that she's ever known. I'm like, but I thought you knew the animals. Like, what's going on? Now you know what a pig is. Okay. So that's awesome.
For her that asked about Leslie, she was on the podcast, so she can totally go to the BWIBAAD podcast on Instagram and see the live with Leslie where she tells all about integrated music therapy and ABA. So
sweet. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, moving on. And I think this might be our last question. And if you guys want to chat for a little bit after this, of course we can. But Jackie, so outside of work, what brings you joy or keeps you balanced? Outside of the ABA world, what keeps you balanced, girl?
So I'm a person who's very musically inclined. I come from a very musical family. I love to sing. I love to play piano. I love pottery, and I love me a great spa day and a solo trip.
Yes,
Okay.
a solo trip.
Yes. Solo trip. Yes, we need
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Toy, what about you? What keeps you grounded outside of this?
Okay, so I do like a good trip and I do love music, but outside of work, I'm not too hard to please. I like movies with my daughter. She's 6. You can put me in some water. Can't swim, but I like a pool. And I love a good boat. You'll meet me at my happiest place on a boat somewhere. But I'm
Okay.
getting grounded. I've been walking nature. I walk barefoot. I even had somebody talk me into like hugging trees. I promise you. So don't be surprised if you see me at this 3K and I'm barefoot. Just keep walking, okay? Keep
You're
going.
connecting with nature.
Yes. Just keep on walking. And at the end of the day, my main thing is at the end of the day is going to end. So choose you and do what works best for you. That's my best thing. Like whatever self-care it is, do what works best for you.
Absolutely. I agree. Okay, Denny, what's your joy outside of this?
So outside of work, I've really found joy in staying active now that I'm done with my master's. I feel like during school and working as an RBT, I had no time to work out. So I'm finally there again, and it's been great. Honestly, it's been such a weight lifted off my shoulders, being able to do something that I really enjoy doing. I also like traveling and the beach. You can find me anywhere on the beach soaking up the sun. I absolutely love the beach. And then, just spending quality time with friends and family. I feel like those definitely help me recharge and stay balanced and realize it's not just work, because we often, I feel like, can get lost in working so much.
Definitely emphasis on recharging because we all need a recharge of the battery, even if it's a little bit of vitamin D for the Black girls. I understand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Leslie, what brings you joy outside of work?
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength with everybody else. Playing my music and spending time near water and nature, like something about being near water. So I've been taking up hiking, light hiking. um, and there's a trail called Great Falls that's here in Virginia, Maryland, and it's just like it's my like recharge. Travel when I get to travel, preferably by water, like the beach, and I love movies too. Just the movies and spending time with my nieces and my family recharges me all the time.
Yes, a bunch of love, a bunch of sun. That's what recharges us the best. I can say for myself that traveling used to bring me some joy. I just got back from Japan like yesterday, guys, and
Ooh.
I can't say that it brings me that much joy anymore because I forgot how tiring vacation was. Like I need a week after the vacation to vacation one more time at home just to be at home. But I say what keeps me balanced would be just movement. You guys said walking with your bare feet on the ground. That's very important. Really getting in contact with nature is key. Pilates, I'm getting into a lot of hot yoga lately. So yeah, just movement is important. I agree with all of those things. Thank you for sharing that fun personal bit. And I just want to remind not only you guys, but also the audience members that although we were talking about the 3K Stride for Awareness on November 8th, that's at Piedmont Park, as well as the conference on February 20th and the 21st, Miss Denny is going to New York on Thursday. I don't know if we have some people that might be in New York. I just wanted to hear a little bit more about what you're going to be doing in New York, Denny.
So in New York, we'll be hosting the networking mixer for the New York ABA conference. So I'm super duper excited about that. And yeah, I've been to a few mixers. I went to the BMBA Summit. They had an amazing mixer there as well. And same for the Black Women in Behavior Analysis last year. Like these events have been honestly so inspiring. I've met so many different professionals in the field between doctors and ABA and just BCBAs. And it's nice to see all the different people and what way they take ABA. Like you would think that it's just autism until you get out there and then you're like, whoa, you can do that. And it's like just so many different things that you can integrate ABA into. So it's really nice to see what's all out there.
Sweet. So, I mean, multifaceted. Everyone's varied in a lot of different skills. You're seeing it exist in sports nowadays, and journalism, and everything. So, I hope that people can get a big eye opener about how much ABA exists in all these fields. And most importantly, I hope you have fun and enjoy being in New York and enjoy that mixer. And I hope we can hear about it too when you get back, or even while you're there. You know, maybe you have the courage to go live on your personal Instagram now, so you can show us.
We'll see.
But, does anyone else have anything they want to share? Toy, do you want to mention your podcast, how people can listen to it, and how they can listen to Leslie's episode?
Yes, the BWIBAAD podcast is on Instagram. That's how you can listen. We are trying to plan who we will have up next. So don't be surprised, girls, especially, Denny.
Right?
Oh, even Jackie, because I heard about some, authoring too. So yes, we just like to amplify all the voices of the Black women in the field. So yeah, we already had Leslie on there. So yes, you can literally go to the BWIBAAD podcast on Instagram and scroll. There's so many, it's many of them, and it's like all really good information. A lot of exciting people. But yeah, so you guys just be ready, because who knows who's gonna be next.
Right, sweet. I'm gonna be tuning in too, so I hope you guys will be too. Well, if no one has anything else to add to this live, I know we went a little bit over. I'm sorry. I thought I was on FaceTime with my girls. Y'all were a good time. Thank you for the ongoing conversation. That was so awesome. And I hope everyone else enjoyed as well.
Bye.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.